Welcome to Dependable Flame, where we explore vintage petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacciana, and other useful mechanisms. Make yourself at home.
Today we are going to unpackage, unbox our most recent eBay purchase. Now, if I counted correctly from the listing, there are 17 lighters in here, along with a glass ashtray and a few other items. Just to give you guys a clue, if you're mailing a group of items like that, this is not your best option. The package was torn in transit, so really fortunate that it even made it here in as good a shape as it did. I messaged the seller after I paid for it and asked him to protect these items very carefully, package them well, and it's obvious he did not do that. So I'm going to hope for the best here. I purposely did not show the address. I'll leave whether or not somebody has his address up to whether or not they decide to do business with him on eBay. But I am going to put up a screenshot of the listing showing the seller's username. And here you can see, protected extremely well there, huh? Everything just dumped in a sack. Extremely disappointing. So I'll pull everything out of this sack and then we will see what we got. So I will start off by giving this seller credit that at least they did bubble wrap the ashtray. That was the least of my worries. I'd rather the ashtray been broke and some of these lighters not possibly take some damage that they might have taken. I see plenty of dents on a few of these lighters that, because there were only 3 pictures in the listing, I have no way of knowing whether those lighters were damaged before or in transit. I don't really think there's any value to any of these plastic. Well, that one's metal, but they just seem like some kind of cheap tokens. Not sure what that is. Some kind of clip from Blockbuster and a book of matches from Harold's Club. It says Harold's Club or Bust. It's a pretty nice Harrah's ashtray though. It says Harrah's, Reno, and Lake Tahoe. Pretty good condition. Kind of a cool color, like a champagne tone. So all's good there. Several kind of junk lighters. Here's a Wellington, Japan lighter. There's no real value there. Here is a Calibri butane lighter. I don't expect, it looks like that's an electric lighter, and I don't expect that to amount to anything. Here is a 2003 E-Code Zippo. The hinge is a little loose, and the insert, which is marked 2013. So the insert much later on that one than the date on the case. Here we have a arc. I have to charge that up, see if we can get it to work. There's a Zippo arc insert. Not a ton of value there. Here's kind of a neat little belt buckle motif lighter. So there might be a little bit of value there. We got a little bit of value in these Bic sleeves. I believe that's what those both are. Now this is a lighter that I was kind of excited to see in there. This is a Capri. This has the flip bottom type. It looks like the spring is worn out on it. So not a whole lot of value there, unfortunately. Sort of a miss, so I guess it really doesn't matter whether that lighter right there was dented up in transit or not, as it is not going to stay closed. So pretty much counting these out over here, not a whole lot of value in these Camel advertising lighters. I'm sure I've had those before, but it's actually the first ones that I remember having. Seems like maybe I had some way back. I don't know, there might be some minimal value. Here's kind of a cool Buxton Japan lighter with a wood grain motif. That's actually pretty cool. So we'll see what we can do about getting that into shape. We got a Whirlwind here with a good deal of missing paint. Whirlwinds have the convertible windscreen that comes up, and that'll make a good user lighter for somebody. We'll see what we can do about getting that one sparking again. So we got these three down here that are just absolutely of no value. No value here. Well, this would be of some value for parts perhaps, but not even sure how. Oh, this is a striker. Well, that's kind of cool. Huh, that's interesting. I assume that the other one just, oh no. So I guess you fill it there. It's just kind of a plug. Seems like you ought to be able to fill it just by pouring it down in there too, though. Either way, whatever works for you, whatever floats your boat, I guess. I don't remember ever having one of those before. I don't think there's a whole lot of value there. Now this is an interesting lighter, and no name brand. Also appears to be a gas lighter. Interesting. Well, I guess we'll see. I don't know whether that will hold gas or not. It looks like what our friend Mark Burris always calls a peanut lighter. I don't know if technically that's what this is or not. And I'm not sure if that comes off or if this mechanism just comes out. And who knows, maybe it's not even refillable. No spark. So if anybody's familiar with that lighter, let me know if you know how to fill it. You guys know that I use butane lighters, but I don't know anything about working on them. So we'll see about that one. I'm not going to call that one junk yet. It's kind of a cool old ashtray. Some of the adornment is coming off of it. And it's kind of a flimsy mechanism, so probably not a whole lot of value there either. Now this is interesting to me and not in terrible shape, although that insert is riding way up inside that case. Not really in all that good a shape either. Really dirty. But it at least retains most of its paint, it seems. So I'll be interested to clean that one up, see what we can do with it. And perhaps use this little mechanism, which is maybe a durium. This looks like a durium finish master case mechanism that's been sawed off the case. So perhaps we can use this to demonstrate how to rewick master case or whatever actual mechanism this is. Maybe some variant. It may not actually be the master case. It looks kind of small now that I think about it compared to some of the others I've had. But we'll get that cleaned up, see what we might be able to do with it. Might be a project. No fulcrum cap, just a threaded ear there and the fulcrum screw going through. Here is the reason I bought this lot though. And wouldn't you know it, the fill screw was just loose in the bag. I don't know if that shook out during transit or what. But I thought for a minute, for just a moment, that I had bought a Cygnus lighter, which you can see that one is marked Cygnus patent 364149. Cygnus in the script logo. Pretty cool. Had a spare flint compartment which was clear of old degraded flint. Now, there is no fuel gasket on this fuel screw, which the Cygnuses usually have one. So we'll have to see if I can find a spare amongst the graveyard that I have over here. This lighter does show some scuffs, some dings, scratches, but it has an advertising emblem on it for, is that BMW? Looks like it says BMW. I don't think that's the car company. I don't remember ever seeing a BMW logo that looked like that. And it also looks like there might be some damage. Either that or maybe if we clean the lettering. I don't know if that lettering is just like the back brass behind the enamel or if that's some paint that's come off. We'll have to see how it cleans up. But that is the reason that I purchased this lot. Got a roller screw here that is partially unscrewed. Wick looks fairly clean. There's tension on the file roller. So it would appear that this lighter will probably be able to just install a new flint, load it up with fuel, and it'll be a user that we can add to our growing collection of Penguin Cygnus Petrol lighters. So, really cool. It's like the mechanism will back right out there, which leaves our file roller free. This is a terrible way to ship a lot of lighters. At least he protected the glass ashtray, but you've got painted finish, you've got metal finishes, all kinds of, I mean, were these dents caused in transit? Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, not the worst buy I've ever made, but certainly not the most well protected in shipping either. Until next time.